Hello everyone, my name is Adreden, and today we are just going to test out really quickly my ultimate Horde base. Hopefully it still works. I think this will be kind of fun. We're not going to go too deep into it, but hopefully we'll just test it out. Alright, so I haven't put anything on the top, but I'm hoping that it's just going to be okay. We should turn on the lighting. Whee! Now, I put in some switches over here. Hopefully we can get all this done in time. Pop down here, and then this is one of the things I like to do because it makes it so that the zombies burn a lot more on the Horde night. It just adds a little bit to the passiveness of this base, and that's what this base is all about. This is a passive build. You don't really need to do much with it. You can kind of just chill up on the roof. Now, and you can also build this base. Well, we're gonna have to just go into fly mode just for a second here. Turn that off. Obviously, need to redesign that. This was all built kind of using a testing system here. Uh-oh, we gotta get up. Okay, now, like I said, there's no real cage on top to keep the birds off me. Now that's gonna be a bit of a problem, but we do have a nice little couch, and we can catch our favorite flick on the TV here. Got some beer over here, and a bigger machine gun, you know, because like that's what we need to do. Basically, just watch the zombies come. So, time to have a beer. Beer. There they come. So, hopefully we'll see some of them burn, and we'll just, you know, flick on the TV at some point, maybe, and watch our favorite show. There's a couple of things we could grab real quick for something like this. But you will notice that the zombies, they're not really attacking anything, right? That's kind of fun. What happens is they tend to run around. Let me see here. Yeah, so we have these here, right? And the zombies tend to run around, sometimes on them, sometimes not. I think the zombies have had a decrease in the probability of being lit on fire, just based on my testing with torches. I should probably do another video on that, and like look into it, because it does seem like it's a thing. Especially with this, they don't really ever seem to light on fire. But really, this is a very passive base. This is something you build. I mean, you can build it early on if you wanted, and just never fight the zombies. Save your resources for whatever else you're actually doing. Trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. Anyhow, it's just proof that it still works in Alpha 18. And if we go over here, though, I don't want to go too close to this edge, because if I do, then the zombies will quite likely start smashing the heck out of this base. So you have to stay away from the edges, per se. Oh, another thing that could be happening is, because I built this into a town, is they could be trying to get into one of these buildings here. But I guess the point is mostly that down here they really don't try to do very much to us, right? Let's not have turned on that headlight or the spotlight over there. Yeah, and so anyhow, there's also what you can see here. This here is just a tiny ditch, and it's too deep, and it stops right sort of at the edge of this here. And there's a couple modifications that we could do to make this base a little bit better, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Now, because there's no hatchevators, that's why I have the ladders on the sides, and to get down, one of the best things you can add is hay bales at the bottom. Would just, I don't know. Oh, there we go. One of them did light on fire. Nice. About time. Yeah, we can also shoot at them if you wanted. Of course, I gotta get some ammo, just like that. Reload. Yeah, so basically, you know, you can chill up here, watch a show on Horde night if you aren't really into the whole Horde night thing. Oh, puppy dog, I think. Don't know if I hit her or not. Probably not. I don't know. They move so fast up here. The best things to do down there is add some barbed wire. That does really help it out a lot. Oh, hey, look at that. I was really hoping for some better bad guys here. Let's add some barbed wire and just do some checking out here. Whee! Whoa, that hurt. Hey guys, how's it going? Okay. Barbed wire. Let's just throw some up here. And this would allow you to shoot them a lot more. Now, this might actually have a different effect too, because there's something special about this. I guess I should explain how it works. Is because of the zombie pathing, like let's say they approach at this angle, they aren't going to come after these pillars because there's this ditch here, and the easiest way for them generally is to go this way, and then, but it costs them a fair bit to jump up, and it also costs them a fair bit to hit this to make it so that it can be, you know, traversable. So what they tend to do is they tend to run along it, and then I've created this little ramp here, which happens to come out right by this other ramp, and because I'm up there, they just want to get close to me. They love me. So they stand up on this platform, or they try, but they, you know, they're running around because they're a little bit frantic because it's Horde night. And so that's sort of how that works. And another thing that I have done, and if you check out the Alpha 17 version of this, is instead of building these down here, is I've built up the terrain and built these like sort of wavy formations. Not there. They kind of went like this, so they would go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, so that it was cost too much for the zombie to run along it to get to these parts, and they would go around all of that madness and go over here. And so that was pretty good. Now my game stage is actually not very high because this is mostly just for testing purposes. Now I'll probably play let's play with this at some point. Let the madness resume. So yeah, so now you can see that they are slowed down, and if you did want to use this for a shooting base, it becomes significantly easier. If I was to just, you know, take a second to aim and reload. This one looks good. I'll just take her out like this. You know? So anyhow, that all works pretty well. Now, a couple other modifications you can do to it that I particularly like is in my Alpha 17 version and whatnot, other versions, I've added bars up here, but always you have to be very careful with the amount of stuff you add to a base like this. Now what happens, the quick explanation of this base is that the support goes all the way down to bedrock, and you don't want them getting out underneath and digging, but you know, that's happened. You can check out my War of the Walker series, Alpha 17 for that. It was kind of interesting. Anyhow, that goes up, and then you start putting extra things here, so that increases the amount of weight that these can take. Now trusses are one of the best blocks to be able to take weight in the game. If you're building something, they have a pretty low mass, and they have a lot of horizontal support, so you could put 300 on each one of their faces. So that is a lot, especially when you consider that if you were to then use like wood bars, here we are, weigh 5, the amount that you can put on top of them is quite significant. And so, but I would suggest doing the math so that you can figure it out. Of course, here we have the ability to do about, what was this, 1200 on each side, but you have to account for each one of these blocks weighing some too, so you have to subtract that out. Anyhow, it's I would suggest looking up a tutorial on structural integrity. I guess I have one as well. Now this is built at the max distance for a set of flagstone blocks, so that they can be set across here and still support this bridge. But the trussing works well too, and so that's pretty good. So, and then what else is there really? Yeah, you have a combination of the little ditch or some other kind of obstacle that the zombies feel they need to run past to get to the highest point, which is the center point here, that they can get to you. That's how they love you. And then up here, yeah, you just make sure that the vultures can't get you, and you should be good. Oh yes, another feature is that it is 35 blocks high. So if you were to look at this one's maybe a bit easier, where that generator or the battery bank is there, it's concrete. But above that, and that's pretty much the same height as this upper platform here. That then from there goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 sets of 5, which is 35 blocks. 35 blocks up, you put this. And the reason for that is cop vomit comes up 35, well 32. So being 35, you're definitely safe. Even if you put like a couple blocks on there or somehow they stack up a little bit, it should be okay. Yeah, hopefully I can play deep into the game and test this out in Alpha 18. I wanted to test it out and see if it worked at all. Because there's a couple of other bases that I have that don't work, and maybe I'll go into those not in this video. Okay, so cool. One other modification we can do is take our digger gun. I mean, I might have to just cut the video real quick to do some modifications. And yeah, so the other differences are we could do something like this where, because what I've done here is created a giant pitfall. That's gonna hurt. So I do need to go into this mode here just to make sure I'm on the right side, so we have to do this. But if you have a pitfall like this, you have absolutely to make them a path out of here. Otherwise, they will have a possibility of breaking out in the direction that your pillars are in, and if they dig underneath, that will compromise the structural integrity of your base, and then the whole thing will collapse. Probably starting with the center, because that tends to be how it is. You want to build this far enough out so that it doesn't affect your little pyramid thing that you built. And of course, this sucks doing it by hand, but I'm using the digger gun, so it is pretty freaking easy. We just blast our way to the surface. You don't need to make it, well, there's lots of different varieties here. You can make it out of a ladder, like a set of ladders, or you can make it out of like ramps if you wanted. Ramps can be a little bit tricky, but I mean, hey, you know, I would suggest that. And it doesn't need to be this deep either, and you could probably make a multi-stage fall pit because of the falling damage weirdness. But, you know, that's all up to you. Ladders. Let's just grab these ones here. I'm just going to fast forward this little bit here because this is, you know, a bit of building. It's just going to take me a while to lay these all down. Okay, so now we have this going on here. Curious. And normally what I do is I put like a set of blocks around that hole so that they can climb out a little easier. But you know what? I'm kind of curious as how it's going to work today. So I'm just going to blast these out. Now, I also haven't had a chance to do much testing for fall pits and such in Alpha 18, but generally, good way to do this, goodbye, is to, let's turn on that light as well, there we go, is to put in like ladders or other various blocks along the edges, so, so the zombies think there's a way to climb up and out. Well, on, I guess, is what I'm thinking here. They try to climb onto these little blocks, and then they fall down, because most of the block isn't there. So, that's pretty much how that goes. Gotta add a couple in here real quick. 1, 2, we do more? 3? That should be good. And then 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna have to bring the time back. Get some more Horde night action. I don't know how many more guys we can do, but let's get some cops and some other good guys in here so that we just have some more fun. I don't know if they are going to fall down these holes or not, but there are many ways to make the zombies fall down. Sometimes putting a ramp block down will help, because they just sort of run right over the edge and they can't slow down in time. So hopefully something like that would work. Let's maybe see if we can get a couple of dudes down there, because that's not enough. Oh boy. Okay, well, this dude is up here with me now, so... Come on, man. Come on down. Hey, guy. You're just not coming down at all. Uh-oh. So they do puke still, but he's not going to be puking. There we go. At me if up here. Which is, you know, half of it, right? Because you just don't want them to puke on you. So yeah, even if you got that giant hole there, you know, like I said, there are other ways to do that. I would recommend sort of a ramp block down, and then maybe some of the, what do we call them? There's the 1/8 blocks, which kind of work. There's also, if we just look up flagstone, I can find it real quick. These little wedge blocks here, those are pretty good, the steep wedge blocks. Just put a bunch of them in there, and oftentimes the zombies will run in and fall down them. So yeah. That's pretty much that, guys. So, I'll just switch this over to daylight, take out the zombies, and we'll take a better look at this. Just a real quick one. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. The zombies try to run here, fall in this little pit, has to run around, up this little ramp, up here, and then they try to get you up here. They can't. If this is built correctly, they'll fall down, and then once they're down there, they'll find a path back up, which could be this one per se. Yeah, it looks like the zombies, one of them tried, and he came off and broke that, which is sort of why building this a little bit differently is a bit better, but that's the principle. Never ever dig this hole without having a way for them to get out, because if they start tunneling sideways, they will probably undercut some of these. And even though, like, one of the other features is I put in these cross members every like 5, and that helps if say this gets broken out for all of these here to support this entire side here. But it's never a good idea to have zombies tunneling underneath a base like this. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you are new to the channel and want to learn more about 7 Days to Die, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in another video. Bye bye.